Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Unatira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Nittai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privadagacharya Ashtottara Sada Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Shri Prabhupada Ki Shri Prabhupada Anuga Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, welcome to all of you on this special Sunday evening program. We are situated at the lotus feet of their lordships, Jagannath, Balaram and Subhadra Devi, and at the feet of Srila Prabhupada. We are reading today from chapter 4, text 36. Abhichedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrijinam santirishyasi. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Please repeat after me. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Purport: proper understanding of one's constitutional position in relationship to Krishna is so nice that it can at once lift one from the struggle for existence which goes on in the ocean of nescience. This material world is sometimes regarded as an ocean of nescience and sometimes as a blazing forest. In the ocean, however expert a swimmer one may be, the struggle for existence is very severe. If someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the greatest savior. Perfect knowledge received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the path of liberation. The boat of Krishna consciousness is very simple, but at the same time the most sublime. Om Tat Sat, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Api chet abhi papebhya sarvebhya papakritamah sarvam jnana plaveneva vrijinam santarishyasi. If you are considered to be the most sinful of sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. I wish people read Bhagavad Gita and understand these very simple instructions. Today morning I heard that a techie person in Bangalore committed suicide. Very intelligent man, hardworking, earning a lot of money. And you must have heard the news that his wife separated from him, filed suits, cases, demanded a very huge sum of money, and demanded more money if you want to be able to see your child. In this way, he was drawn into the court, and fighting in the court was very inclined to support the female, and in this way, he felt it was injustice, nobody understood him properly, and he tried to save himself from the situation, tried everything possible, wrote to all sorts of people to help him, and since no help came, he committed suicide. Wrote a 27-page letter why he did so and how desperate he was. People don't know. This is because of lack of knowledge of who you are, that you very valuable human life is given to you. And in the human form of life, you can inquire who are you, what is this world, what is birth, death, who is God, what is my relationship with Him. Somehow we become so busy with all the externals and we don't have time for doing the main thing in human life. No time to look after ourselves, no time to look after our dependents nicely. No time. Finally you commit suicide because there is no time for looking after myself. I better get rid of myself. Serious thing. And everybody has got into very deep thinking about this. What is happening? Why are people blackmailing each other when they are married as husband and wife? Why do they separate? What stops them from living a happy life? So many questions in people's minds. Actually, the answer is very simple. We are promoting a godless civilization. Very simple, not very difficult. The world is designed in such a way that you cannot live happily without God. That's how it's designed. You may like the design, you may not like the design, you may like the idea, you may not like the idea, but it is created that way. And God is a necessary ingredient, main ingredient. You may not like it because you want a scientific explanation for it. You may think so many ways, logically, this way, that way. Because of a little advancement in technology, in material situation, you may think, why is it necessary for somebody like God at all in your life? So you may think many things, but there is a system designed and put in place by the Creator. And this is the way to use it. This is a way to use it. And if you use it that way, by understanding these instructions given by Krishna, then things will go pretty smoothly. I don't say it will go 100% smooth, but it will go much more smoother. You don't have to commit suicide. You don't have to waste the human form of life. Because if you commit suicide also, it is another big offense of disrespecting the valuable human form of life. So, that is why we must be educated in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita tells you everything for a basic, proper human life. If you want more detail, you can read more Srimad Bhagavatam and you can understand more. In fact, we must do that. We must do that. You see, Prabhupada calls here the material world to be a blazing forest. And you have entered that forest. In the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a description, which we were reading today, on the forest of material enjoyment. You may be painting a negative picture of your situation in this world, but there is a positive way out of it. If you adopt the positive way, then everything becomes positive. But if you think it is not necessary for me, I don't want to listen, I got my own way, I got my own solution to things, we will find ourselves complicating things very much. Things become very complicated. So, it is a nice story that explains this very well. It says that a person who is caught himself lost and landed up, jumped into a farm, big, and he looks and sees, oh, this is a nice place. He's eating some fruit, he suddenly enters somebody else's place, and 2 huge dogs come and chase him. The dogs chase him, and he finds himself in a very difficult situation. He's running here, there, and finally he lands up in climbs a tree, jump from there and sees that, oh my God, there's a big well underneath. He holds a branch and hangs from there. From there he sees down, it's a big well full of snakes waiting for him. And he's hanging on the branch. He feels that 2 rats are gnawing away that branch. A black rat and a white rat. He sees that the tree is being shaken by an elephant to put him down. All sorts of things are happening to him. And a tiger is waiting on the edge of the well. How can I get this man? It will go waste, he will fall into the well. Anyway, he is hopeless. How can I eat him up? And he is licking his, tongue and slurping and saying how to get. He is also growling. In this condition, that person hanging on the branch finds some drop of something falling on him. He looks up and sees there's a big honeycomb. From the honeycomb, honey is falling down. Immediately what he does is put his tongue out and taste a little bit. Immediately, isn't that the instinct for everybody to do that? The tongue out. Whatever situation is, honey, fresh, pure honey in the forest falling down, you are waste. Anyway, it's falling down, let me down on my tongue. He did it. So this story in the Purana states, this is how your situation is. Little enjoyment you get. And that also you hang in the branch very precariously in a very dangerous position, with the elephant shaking the whole branch, with the rats gnawing away anytime you're going to fall, snakes waiting down, so many dangers around. You get a little honey, you're happy. Life is happy. So in the Bhagavatam also it says the story, the forest of enjoyment. King Jadabharat is speaking this to Maharaj Rahugana. Very beautiful story. Maharaj Bharat, he went to the forest, gave up his kingdom, gave up his treasury, gave up his wife, children, friends, everything, because he wanted to achieve Krishna. Uttama shloka lalasa. He was greedy, and he went to the place to meditate, and one day he saw a deer, pregnant deer, drinking water, and he saw a tiger slowly coming close by, and the deer came to know the tiger is coming by hearing the growling of the tiger, and instantly got so afraid and jumped to the other side of the bank and delivered the child in the water, a nice baby deer. And Maharaj Bharata was watching this from there. And as soon as the child dropped, the baby deer dropped, he felt very much compassion. He ran down, dived into the water and picked up the deer and brought it safely to his ashram. And he became very kind towards the deer. He fed the deer, looked after the deer. He said, the deer doesn't have a mother. I must look after it. Otherwise some tiger, some lion will eat it up. So he gave it a small place, went every day and brought leaves, that, this, sang song, nicely they sing, slowly, slowly, slowly. He became very attached to the deer. Became so attached to the deer, forgot his own meditation, forgot his own reason for what he came to the forest. He became very attached to the deer. So attached to the deer, he was hugging, kissing the deer, singing songs about the deer, and every day looking after it so nicely. Became full deer consciousness. He died like that only, hugging the deer. One day, he became a deer. That is the law. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati ante kalevaram. Whatever bhava, consciousness you are in at the time of death, your next life you will get that only. He became a deer, but he was a special deer. He remembered his past life. Started repenting very much. What a big mistake I did. I got a very good opportunity to perfect my life, and I completely spoiled it by becoming attached to a deer. I gave up so many things, the treasury, the kingdom, my wife, children, friends, relatives, and I came and became attached to a deer. I have so many animals with me in my, big collection. I have horses, I have elephants, I have everything. And I came to the forest and became attached to a deer and spoilt my spiritual life. So as a deer, he was very cautious. And he came back to the place where he meditated as Bharata Maharaj. Lived there only, eating some leaves and simply thinking of God, Krishna. Then he died. In his next life, he became Jada Bharat. He was born in a Brahmana family. Now he remembered two lives. Previous life I was a deer. Before that I was Bharata Maharaj. So he said, I have to be very careful. Krishna's Maya is very strong. Very careful I'll be. So he was very intelligent, but he behaved like a dumb, retarded fool. His father was a Brahmana father, so he wanted to train his son in all these nice things. Do the Achamana, chant the Gayatri. You go to the bathroom, you must come and purify yourself. You go to the toilet, you must take bath. Like this he told him. He purposely did everything opposite. Before going to the bathroom, he did Achaman. After coming, he never did. So that his father will say, oh my gosh, what a useless fellow you are. Why don't you learn? He was very affectionate to him. But father had 2 wives, and this was a boy born out of the later wife. But from the previous wife, who was also there, he had several sons. They were all elderly. They were looking after the father's property, agriculture, everything. So Bharat, Jada Bharat, was very determined to make sure that I don't get involved in anything. I will forget Krishna. I will get drawn into the material world. So very carefully he behaved like a fool, like a retarded person. But he was very well built, very strong person, by constitution. So his father died one day. But he was very affectionate to him. Father died, now he has no support in the house. His stepbrothers and stepmother didn't care for him. They started ill-treating him, mistreating him. They gave him burnt food. They said, "You useless fellow, simply sitting, not doing any work." So he will eat whatever they give. Burnt food he will eat. He will not complain. They told him, "You are so useless, you stand as a scarecrow in the agriculture. Stuffed scarecrow they will put so that they come. You stand there instead of the scarecrow. He stood there in the hot sun. Whatever they gave him, he ate. But he was just chanting Hare Krishna and he was remembering Krishna. He doesn't mind. No reaction to anything. He was very determined. In this way, Jada Bharat, he was growing up there. One day, Kali's worshippers came. They were looking for Nara Bali, to offer a human being to Kali, so that their project will become very successful. They were looking for somebody, and they found this man standing in the agricultural field. They found him, they came and tested him and found, Hare, very pakka, nice body, very good looking, very strong fellow. He doesn't belong to anybody, he's just sitting here. They said, "Come." He just got down and went. They said, "Come," he went. He went with them, they spoke to him, they found this fellow is a retarded fellow, they thought. And they gave him a good meal, shaved him up nicely, put him very good clothes, gave him a good bath, put very good clothes, gave him a fantastic meal to eat. He ate everything, nothing he left. They were very surprised, eating everything. He's not eaten for a long time. And he just kept quiet. Then they said, "Okay, ready." They did all the Chanda Mela, everything, brought him to the Kali temple, and the head of the gang got ready to cut the head and offer to Kali. He didn't protest. He simply kept quiet, thinking of Krishna. Nobody knows he is a very great soul. Seeing that the man is going to cut his head off, Kali herself jumped out of the Vigraha, caught hold of that man, took his sword, cut off that dacoit's head, cut off all the other people's head, and played ball with the head. And Jada Bharat was standing watching for some time and said, "Something, other program is going on here. I am not needed here anymore." He left. He simply left, chanting Krishna's name. Kali said, "I will not kill this person. He is a very exalted soul. I will be doing great offense." This way he walked off. This was Jada Bharat. Completely surrendered to Krishna, determined in this life. So, what happened? One fine day he was moving around here and there. Whoever gives little food, he'll do some work and something, not asking for anything. One day the king, Rahugana of the Sauvira province, he was coming, big pallaki, and was being carried and coming with big Chanda Mela, everything. And they were looking for somebody to carry the pallaki, the palanquin. So they found him sitting here, very nicely built man. So the soldier said, "Hey, get up, come here, hold this pallaki." He said, okay, hold the Palaki. But he's Jada Bharat. He's not like the other Palaki fellows. He's a very learned man. Extremely intelligent person. But nobody knows. He's just wearing one loincloth, one dirty Brahmin thread in his thing. And he carried the Palaki. But while he was carrying the Palaki and walking, he saw ants, insects. So every time he sees insects, he will step over them. He will not step on the insects. Very carefully walking on the floor, on the ground, watching. He's very, very careful about not hurting any living being. So each time he did like this. King, no, he's a very big king. The Palaki jerked like that. So the king was disturbed. What is this? This man you have put doesn't know how to even walk properly. I am a king, he is carrying me like this. So the soldiers told him, hey, be careful. You know who he is. Walk properly. Jada Bharat is not bothered about anybody. He is a person who the dacoits took and were ready to cut his head. He didn't say anything to them also. What is bothered about them? He just didn't hear. Again he saw insect, again he jumped like this. Then the king from inside said, hey, you fat fellow, can't you walk properly? He told. Then Jada Bharat got a little disturbed. Yes, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time you people told me, I cannot carry like that. I will not step on all the ants and insects. What's your problem? I'm anyway carrying. Little discomfort. What is there? Saving some ants. So, king got very angry, opened the Palaki and said, you fat man, don't know how to walk properly. So carrying the Palaki, he turned around and told, neither am I fat man, nor you king. You don't know this. He just told him that. The king became very disturbed. The palanquin carrier talking back to me. He said, Palaki ruko, stop the Palaki. He got down from there. And he came and said, do you know who I am? What did you say? Ready to punish him. But Jada Bharat has seen worst things in his life. He has seen the sword 2 inches away from his neck. He has not been worried. He is very exalted soul. So he again repeated, I told you that we are all spirit souls, given here in the Bhagavatam, supreme knowledge. You are thinking you are king, and you are thinking I am your palanquin carrier. That too a fat palanquin carrier. Both are wrong. That's what I want to tell you. And it is the truth. It's mentioned in the Gita. So it is the truth. I didn't tell anything wrong to you. Suddenly this king understood, this person is not an ordinary palanquin carrier. He's not a laborer. Then he said, how do you know this? Then he explained more. Then he explained more. More questions, more answers, more questions, more answers. Immediately he understood, my gosh, this man must be some rishi, sage, great saint. Why did you bring him to carry my palanquin? Immediately he fell down, offered namaskaram to this Jada Bharat. Palanquin, Palaki and all put down. Ministers and all gathered next to the king. And to the king he is speaking in the middle of the road. And he told the king, you are a fool. You're talking like as though you're very learned. But actually you're not learned. There are many people like you in this world. He was very bold in instructing the king. And the king again told him, I'm very sorry. Very, very sorry. I want to take instruction from you. I want to have my questions answered. Sat down there. And this Jada Bharat instructed him. There he tells him, you are a foolish person entered the forest of this material world. You think you can get some profit. You think you can get some profit like a merchant. But you are actually getting harassed by so many things. You're getting harassed by your own family members, your own senses, your eyes, your ears, your tongue. They are plundering you. You are a spirit soul trapped inside this body. You have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten your connection with God, with Krishna. And you are suffering like an orphan and roaming around here. And you think you're very great. You're thinking, I'm king, walk fast, you're telling me. You are a fool, actually. You don't know anything. And Maharaj Rahugana told him, I agree with you. How will I get to know? Please tell me. How can I get to know? So he told him that you are a king. So you enjoy your senses a lot. Whatever you want, you will get. You will ask for beautiful women to come and dance, you will get. You will ask for the best wine and drink, you will get. Best food, you will get. Everything you will get. So you spend your time enjoying like this. Fighting, conquering. You have no time to look into who are you. In this way you become a big fool in the forest of enjoyment. But I am not like you. I have not got involved in this forest because I know what it is. I have kept myself aloof. And in this way I have got liberated. I am not materially entangled like you. Therefore I am able to tell you the truth very boldly. I am not afraid of anything. I am not in anxiety. I am free. Your soldiers asked me to carry, so I just came and carried. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, fine. In this world, as long as I am, something has to be done, I do. I'm not attached to it. But you are a fool. You may be king, but you're a fool. This instruction, knowledge, was given by this palanquin carrier to a very good, famous king. This knowledge is very important. Abhichet papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamaha. It's mentioned here. If we can get this basic knowledge, who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with Him? What is His world? This is called education. Without knowing the who am I, you will learn about everything else. That subject, this subject, and they will teach you how to write the exam so that you will get very good marks. Even if you did not understand the subject, does not matter. All it matters is to score good numbers. In this way, your education is also about some material stuff. Nobody bothers to know, who am I? Where do I come from? What is this world? What is birth? What is death? You're so busy. And then at a point of time in your life where something challenging happens, you commit suicide. You waste the human form of life. So that's why in the Bhagavad Gita and in the Bhagavad, the human form of life is spoken about in a very high way. Even Devatas in the Swargaloka want to come to Earth planet and take the human form of life because it affords a great opportunity for progressing spiritually. If we don't do that, if we don't cultivate this knowledge of who am I, who is God, which is given in the Bhagavad Gita, our life is wasted. Even though you may earn tons of money, you may do so many things, finally you will die. Everything will come to an end. We should not die like that. And we should die knowledgeably. I am spirit soul. And I have endeavored throughout my life to understand this and connect with Krishna, as he has mentioned, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyachi mam namaskuru mam evaishasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. In the 9th chapter, Krishna is saying, become my devotee, connect with me, and I will be very happy to help you to realize who you are. You are my eternal part and parcel. For you there is no birth and death. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. These are wonderful, highly elevating knowledge. Why? It gives you very high  Krishna is telling you, don't die, you are forever. You belong to me. And if one understands this, which is the truth, then why should he go commit suicide? Suicide and all these things because of very low self-esteem. If you don't know the self, how you can have esteem? If you think you are so-and-so person, if you think you are, an identity given by your company, by your household, by the society, those are all false designations as per Bhagavad Gita. When you come to know I am spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit Krishna, you immediately become relieved of the material designations. You have come to know who are you. Therefore, you have very good self-esteem because you are no ordinary person. You belong to God. Mamaiva amsha jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. You belong to me. I am your eternal guardian. I am always your father, mother every time. Pitaha masya jagato mata data pitamaha. Not in this lifetime alone I have one father and mother, then I die. In the next lifetime I have another father and mother, they die, and then next lifetime. Not mother and father changing. He is telling, I am eternally your father. I am eternally your mother. We have an eternal relationship. So if we understand this, then we have great shelter. And our self-esteem increases to a great extent. Because I know who am I. If you don't know the self, you can have only a false self-esteem. Your self-esteem is based on your social position. Your self-esteem is based on how much money you are earning. Your self-esteem is based on what other people tell about you. But you yourself don't know who you are. Right? This is the amazing thing in this world. So, when I heard this incident, somebody committed suicide like this, very sad. It is because you don't have this knowledge. You don't have this knowledge. So, we are all in these type of situations, right? Very pressing, anxious situations. We are harassed in many different ways because this world is designed to make you understand yourself and God. That is the real purpose. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it mentions that everybody will have a difficult time in this world until you spend time to understand who are you and get the real education, as it is mentioned. In other words, you are punished. If you don't educate yourself, you are punished. Just like if you don't go to school, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to college, your parents will punish you by giving you some type of work to do. Or your guardian will punish you. Or make you do some agriculture, do some physical work, do this, do that. You'll have to engage yourself in some other way, which you don't like. Actually, it is mentioned our main business in human form of life is to understand who am I, who is God, learn to love God and go back to Him. So in this day and age in Kali Yuga, we can chant the holy names of Krishna, Harinama Sankirtana, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By chanting this japa, a special benediction of the Lord's mercy will come on you and you will quickly understand Bhagavad Gita. So I urge all of you to buy a Bhagavad Gita if you don't have one, written by our founder. It is published today in more than 90 languages and distributed all over the world. World's largest circulating Bhagavad Gita. Because it is very clear to understand and clear to practice. We'll be very happy to help you in this understanding. We have courses, classes regularly happening and you can enroll in them and you can make tangible progress in your spiritual life and you will never think of committing suicide. I can guarantee that for you. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have any questions?
Okay.
Hare Krishna, இந்த மாதம் ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷலான மாதம். அந்த மாதிரி பகவத்கீதை தோன்றிய மாதம் 5000 வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பாக பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணர் நமக்கு இந்த பகவத்கீதை கொடுத்தார். ஒரு பொக்கிஷம். இந்த மாதம் முழுவதும் இந்த பகவத்கீதையை நீங்கள் தானம் செய்யலாம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப விசேஷமானது இந்த மாதத்தில். குறிப்பாக அந்த 2-3 ஸ்கீம்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஒரு 100 பகவத்கீதா, 50 பகவத்கீதா, 25 பகவத்கீதா, அட்லீஸ்ட் மினிமம் 10 பகவத்கீதா. மாதிரி இந்த பகவத்கீதையை நீங்கள் தானமளிக்க விரும்பினால் இந்த புத்தக மராத்தான் விழா இந்த மாதம் முழுவதும் உலகம் முழுவதும் சிறப்பாக சில பிரபுபாத புத்தகங்களை விநியோகம் செய்து வருகிறது. அது சமயம் தாங்கள் இந்த சேவையில் ஈடுபட விரும்பினால் தயவு செய்து என்னுடைய புத்தக நிலையத்தை அணுகி தன்னுடைய பெயர்களை Hare Krishna. Next is Prashadam. Hare Krishna.